I'm Steph Chappel, the Executive Officer for Southern Growers, based at Finley. We've got a 80-hectare trial farm in there and we cover the footprint with members for the mower irrigation. Our mantra is to get more kilograms per millilitre of water applied on farm. We got involved in this project to help our growers find some organic N in their system through using legumes as the key to that in the rotation. So Southern Growers has been involved in the Optimising Irrigated Grains project, which was a GRDC project. We had the trials in at Finley. A lot of the growers had a fair bit of interest in the top dressing of faba beans. Once they saw the yield responses that the guys were getting in town for top dressing the beans, they thought, oh, maybe we should relook at this. And the big question they had is, if we're getting those yields, how much nitrogen are we pulling out of the soil?
Yeah, I'm Jake Plattfuss. We farm at Drought between Finley and Deniliquin in the Southern Riverina. We are straight cropping now, and our rotation is a pulse, a canola, and 2 cereals, just generally wheat. So we got involved in the end banking trial because we've been growing beans or a pulse for 10 or 15 years now. They've always been part of our rotation and we've seen the benefits long term in the rotation for this following cereal crops predominantly for us. We've seen the benefits out of it, trying to quantify how much N we are getting in the system, and then we decided we'd try and see if we get more in the system in the legume or the pulse rotation to see if we could carry that forward. We've seen out of the Optimising Irrigated Grains project in town on the Southern Growers site that we can't get any more response to N in one particular season, any more than sort of 200 units in that current season on our irrigated cereals. So we're trying to see if we can get some more N into the system in the year off or in the pulse phase of the system, and see if we can essentially carry that forward throughout the next 3 crops and see how much more N we can get in the system and if that'll translate into yield essentially. So last year the trials were put out in the bean crop, the top dressing N trials were put out. We had 280 mil or 250 mil in October, so that kind of wrecked the beans last year. So we didn't see any yield response or any yield difference because essentially disease got them last year. They were all pretty flat across the board, the different treatments. But we have, obviously, we've deep end tested them 3 times so far, and I think there's another one to go before our last irrigation. There's a large difference, essentially follows how much N we've put on the trials. It's carried forward into the next season, so it's actually working. It's kind of a flat line curve at the moment, that the more N we've top dressed on the beans, the more is showing up the next year. It appears to have merit at the moment, and if everything goes to plan, we'll probably adopt it broad scale, I think. We'll probably, look at top dressing our beans going forward. We haven't worked out exactly what rate we're going to go with yet, but that'll come out in this trial.
We're following the deep end, and we're actually doing deep ends all the way up to shallows to see how that nitrogen moves throughout the season with the irrigations. We would like to repeat this on a broad scale to see if it holds up, and we would like to go back and test it again with the beans to see if we do get that yield response and what the nitrogen take out of all of that is. Because we put the rates out and we did green manure, some of it, and we can't really see what the differences that did because we removed the same amount of crop across the whole paddock. Growers are hesitant to top dress faba beans because they haven't necessarily been viewed as a valuable crop. So we really need growers to understand the importance of the pulse in the cycle, to add them to their rotation. We really want them to grow the pulse for the organic N, but they just have a little block in there somewhere. So I think if we can prove the long-term benefits with some actual science and statistics on irrigation country, I think that the uptake will be a lot better.